into the semi-finals we go now over in the League Cup with only 4 clubs remaining. And of course, we have the small matter of a 2-legged semi-final. Today, we're going to take a look at those first legs of those semi-finals. And we're coming at you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today, we're talking about the semi-finals, first legs of the 2024-2025 EFL Carabao Cup, League Cup, whatever you want to call it. And we'll come at you in just 1 second. If you're new where you've been, smash your subscribe button. You want to shop for Blackburn Rovers, League Cup, EFL Cup, Carabao Cup. We're going to all here under one rooski. That's right, 4 clubs remain. They all are Premier League clubs, and they all are trying to get their seasons up and running with a first taste of silverware. And this could be it. That's right. As we look forward to those semi-finals, which kind of snuck up on me, really, because the games start tomorrow, that's right, with a taste of the first legs this week, that's right. We'll get to those in a minute. Big shout out to the members, you know who you are, and a big shout out to the Patreons, you know who you are. But today, we're going to revisit the quarterfinals, what brought us to these semi-finals, bring you bang up to date with that, and then we're going to get jumping in straight in the deep end with a look at the semis. So here we go. Alrighty then, folks, let's turn the clock back to this quarterfinals, which was way back in December. That's right, so it was way back last year, guys, and these were those. There was 4 games, and we have now got 4 representations in the semi-finals. Arsenal did beat Palace 3-2 was the final score. I went with a 3-1 win, correct. Meanwhile, the Geordies did beat Brentford 3-1 in the end. I went with a 2-1 win, 8-2 shabby on that one. I did, here we go. Yeah, I know. This is, of course, where it all went a little bit shit for me. I did go for the upset in Southampton beating Liverpool. It was a 2-1 game. I just went the other way, and of course situations have since changed for Southampton. They no longer have Russell Martin at the helm. In fact, he might not have even been in charge out of this game, if my memory serves me correctly. I think they might have had a caretaker in charge for this game, but regardless, they did lose, and Spurs did beat Manchester United 4-3. I went with a 3-2, so yeah, you got to give me some credit on that, because those scores are pretty close to the money. That's right. Now we enter, of course, the whatchamacallits, the semi-final stages. We do have a prediction league, I believe. I'm not bringing you an update right now because they're only a small amount of points. I want to keep you guys interested until the final. So realistically, we're looking at maybe 4 or 5 points left, and that could be the decision maker between first and second, and of course first place and loser. Of course, we are now moving on to those semi-finals. There are now 4 clubs remaining. Should I give you the odds? Should I give the odds just right here, right now? Who is the favourite? Newcastle are 4th favourite, 6-1. Tottenham 9-2. They are 3rd favourites. Liverpool are actually 2nd favourites, 13-8, and Arsenal are favourites with 6-4. But that doesn't matter, guys. What really matters is we're talking about the games individual, and we're coming at you right here, right now. We're going to start with Tuesday's game, which is tomorrow, and it will be Arsenal up against Newcastle United, coming at you over at the Emirates. That's right. Newcastle are the visitors. The referee will be Craig Pawson. And also, of course, with Mikel Arteta at the helm. They have played each other 63 times since 1993. 39 wins for Arsenal, 13 wins for Newcastle. There's been 11 draws between the two sides. Arsenal are rocking 83% form for them right now. They haven't lost in the last 13 matches. And of course, you want to look at that a little bit deeper. They haven't lost in the last 19 home matches. But they're up against Newcastle right now, who are the form team in the Premier League. They've won 6 on the bounce in all competitions and all venues. And they're coming at you in thick, pretty good form as well. They last played this season, in fact, back in November. It was at St James's Park. It was a 1-0 win for Newcastle. Last time played at this venue, though, it was back in February 2024. Arsenal coming out on top quite convincingly, 4-1 in the end. However, it's actually been quite split over the last 4 matches, 2 wins apiece. Newcastle winning the games in up north, and Arsenal, well, they've only played just the 1 time in the last 4 in London, but Arsenal came out on top on that one. The Gunners coming into this on the back of a draw against Brighton. Newcastle did beat Tottenham, of course, to kick off their 2025 in fantastic style. It's actually quite an ugly looking week for Arsenal. Well, it depends on how you look at it. It's actually an ugly few games for Arsenal, because they take on the Newcastle right here, right now, which is a difficult game, but it's at home. Then they take on Manchester United, also at home in the FA Cup. Then they bring it back down to earth in the Premier League, taking on Tottenham, also at this place. They've actually got the next 5 games at this venue to really, really cement or get 2025 off to the best possible start. Of course, Arsenal have got a 5-0 win on their record against Newcastle. They've scored 107 goals against them in those 63 matches and scored 1.70 goals on game on average. The Geordies rocking a 2-0 win. That's their biggest victory over the Gunners in those 63 matches. They've only scored 46 goals in those 63, 0.73 goals a game on average. The bookies odds for this one, draws are allowed, remember. 10-7 on is your Arsenal. They, of course, are favoured. 29-10 is the draw. 50-4 is your away win. That is Newcastle. I do think this is going to be a two-legged affair. It's not going to be a done and dusted after the first leg. I'm going to go with it might sound convincing, a 3-1 win for Arsenal. That's definitely 1 foot in the final. But I do think the Geordies will make it very difficult against Arsenal when they come up to the other end. 2-0 win on the other side. Really, does that bring penalties into the mix? It probably does. So this game is not over. 2-goal advantage for Arsenal into the second legs, of course, which will be played, I think, in February sometime. Anyway, let's kick on forward to the other game. It is Tottenham. It is Liverpool's coming at you at the Fancy Pants Stadium, and it is this Wednesday, the 8th of January. Angie Postecoglou's boys are in a bit of trouble right now without a win in the last 4 matches up against Arnie Slot, who are unbeaten in at least the last 24 games. Goodness gracious me. And then lost any of the last 16 on the road as well. Spurs, of course, have played Liverpool 68 times since 1993, just winning 15 of them. It's been 18 draws, 35 wins for Liverpool. Newcastle, not in this game. Tottenham do have a 4-0 win on the record against Liverpool. They've scored 84 goals in those 68 games, 1.24 goals a game on average. As for Liverpool, they're coming into with a 5-0 win on their record against their opposition, Tottenham. In their history books, 124 goals scored in 68 games, that's averaging 1.82 goals a game. Now, these two sides have played each other once already at this venue, and it was a game and a half. There was 9 goals in it. 6-3 it was for Liverpool. Just less than a month away. It was back on the 22nd of December. Bang, bang, thank you, ma'am. Meanwhile, there's actually goals in this game. If you look back at the last 4, I've got to get my calculator out here. 7, 10, 16, 16, 22, 25 goals scored in the last 4 games combined. These guys know how to entertain, and that's what Ange's trying to do, is entertain, but he's actually not winning games at the moment. They're coming into on the back of that 2-1 loss against Newcastle. Liverpool on the back of that 2-2 draw at Anfield against Manchester United. Tottenham, of course, got a busy week, a few days up ahead. Liverpool right here, right now. Then it's Tamworth. Of course, all eyes will be on that FA Cup game. Then it's Arsenal in the North London derby when they return to Premier League action on the 15th of Jan. Meanwhile, Liverpool, of course, taking on Spurs right here, right now. Then it's Accrington Stanley. Who are they? Exactly. Then they'll take on Forest back in the Premier League when we come back into the thick of things here. The odds here, 50-4 is your Spurs. 7-2 is the draw. 30-8 on is your Liverpool. And I'm going with a bit of a curveball here. You've got to give it a little bit of a curveball. I'm going to go with the draw here. I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw. Spurs not necessarily in the driving seat. But again, like the other game, it keeps them in it somehow. Of course, when it gets to Anfield, Liverpool will be favoured. But just to get something out of this, to keep yourselves in it, I think that's the agenda for Tottenham and Newcastle, as they are both underdogs. It's just to give themselves, get some skin in the game. Make sure you're still competitive, still realistically in with a shout when the second leg's coming around. Because realistically, it is like the odds say, Arsenal and Liverpool are the favourites to win this one. So I do anticipate them to at least have some form of advantage. That's it, guys. Don't forget to get predictions in. We do have the prediction league. It should be up and at them whenever this video goes live. And then we'll look forward to seeing you on the other side, guys. Make sure you subscribe, smash the like. Catch you later. Until then, we are done.